welcome back to the Daily Wrap. It's time for Yay or Nay. Usually I say this is happy time, but we do have some breaking news for you tonight. Hogans Heroes has been taken off of Comcast. We just learned this. This happened today, I understand.
It was in reaction to our conversation.
Probably. Dukes of Hazzard, now Hogans Heroes. The prediction here is Seinfeld episodes that include Cigar Store Indian, Puerto Rican Day Parade, and Chinese Restaurant will be erased from memory. Go into some bin like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, like that warehouse, you'll never see them again.
I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't, right?
I mean, that was the point of the show. It was
you didn't
making
appreciate
fun.
my logic?
No, I appreciated your rant, but I didn't buy the logic, no.
Somebody did. Somebody apparently
That's right,
somebody did, yeah.
Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, people, it's happy time. It's time for Yay or Nay. First up, a new UK-based online poll finds that 35% of American-born and immigrant residents would consider leaving the U.S. for another country. More than half of that group are millennials between the ages of 18 and 34 who say an increase in salary is a major factor in their decision. Heather's saying, what the hell are they talking about? This is a 14% increase since 2013. Here's the question, and then you could answer, Heather. Would you ever leave for another country, yay or nay?
I would travel, yes, but to move, where do they think they're going that it's going to be better? This is the
Greenland?
place to be. No,
Okay.
I think it's absolutely, and it's millennials who don't appreciate yet what it is that they have.
All right, Rick.
Actually, first of all, I have left the country to live in another country and enjoy the experience immensely
working
for
there?
7 years. Yeah, I was.
How
I was
Iran?
working back here from there, to be fair.
Right.
But more importantly, I think what they're thinking is absolutely great. I'll tell you why. Americans have forgotten that in our history, when the car companies started up in Detroit, people packed up from Nashville and they moved up north because that's where the jobs were. The world is a different place now. Moving from Nashville to Detroit is nothing. It's not that weird to move to another country if there's a job there that you want. So I think they're absolutely right in the way they're thinking.
And I saw the photos of when you lived in North Korea,
Yeah,
and I said,
right.
you know, that looks like an interesting place. No.
I wanted to go on a diet.
Oh,
So.
well, that's a good place to go on a
That is a good
diet.
place to do that. First of all, I don't have a lot of faith in the validity of a UK-based online poll.
Makes a good point.
But taking the poll at face value, it's the precondition is that there would be other salaries abroad that would be higher than that which you can get in America. And the reason why we're not seeing waves of immigration is because that precondition doesn't exist. There simply is not that factor. So if I agree with Rick, that would be great, but it just simply isn't
It's
the
not
case.
there at this point, that's for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Well, let's get to Rick's buddy, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, shared his vision for that is not a, is that a growl? Oh boy,
Yes,
we
that was
definitely
his
are at the end of the show. Shared his vision for the Supreme Court Tuesday night on the Kelly File. Under the senator's proposed plan, lifetime appointments will be a thing of the past, with retention elections every 8 years. But Ms. Kelly was a bit skeptical over the timing of Mr. Cruz's new plan.
You want to rewrite the Constitution in response to a couple of decisions you don't like?
Last week's decisions were the latest in a long line and sadly were the nadir of the Supreme Court. And as Justice Scalia powerfully said in dissent, that decision was an assault on our democracy. It was 5 unelected lawyers setting themselves up, and these are Scalia's words, as the rulers of all 320 million Americans.
Should justices have to face re-election every 8 years, Noah Rothman?
This is exactly what I was talking about in a segment before, is that this is a real craven misleading of Cruz's supporters by, A, dodging the issue by suggesting that a constitutional amendment could even pass the supermajorities in Congress, let alone be ratified by the states, and also to subject justices to elections which they were exempt from in order to keep them above the political fray. It's a horrible idea, which is why it'll never pass, and Ted Cruz knows that.
Interesting. Heather, quickly.
He said it perfectly. Couldn't add a single thing.
I would just add, how do you think Ted Cruz would have responded to Franklin Roosevelt's effort to pack the court? And 2, of course he's right, because Ted Cruz knows much better than our founders did.
Interesting. All right, Ted Cruz goes 0 for 3. And on that note, we leave you, everybody, tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, panel, as well.
Thank you.
This was an exceptional show. I just felt a different kind of vibe going on. You
was
became
fun.
Charles Krauthammer
I know.
for
What
60
is up
minutes.
with
Look
that
at you.
tonight?
Right?
I'm
Heather
not
stayed
sure.
very
Okay, I'll
consistent.
be back tomorrow.
Right? And Noah, tremendous job. You didn't use too many words I didn't know, and I
Waste
appreciate
of
that.
time.
Anyway, Newsmax Prime with J.D. Hayworth. That's next. J.D. continues exclusive interview with Donald Trump.